Welcome to the Madman Review. In this video, we will go over a rather controversial topic. You see, some firearms are highly regarded, although their actual performance does not warrant their reputation. There are many well-made hunting guns out there that put them on the pedestal, and then there are hunting guns that do not really live up to the hype, yet have a massive following. To be fair, some of these guns used to be amazing upon their debut, but now the only reason people keep them around is mainly because of sentiment, not performance. Some are great for shooting at the range or as a collection piece, but not so much for hunting. Regardless, I believe that putting any gun on this list would stir up some controversy, but it is worth knowing what those guns are really capable of before you invest in them. Yes, they're not that bad, but they certainly are not as good as some people say. If that gun works well for you, then more power to you. By all means, keep using it. What I'm about to say is just my opinions, not facts. With that little disclaimer out of the way, what are some hunting guns that are just overrated? Blazer R93. Fast cycling, bolt action, straight pull, and accurate. The R93 maintains a loyal following since its debut in the United States. One major reason for its popularity is the interchangeable barrel feature, meaning that you can customize your R93 to your desire. Of course, this video is about overrated firearms, so there's a good reason why the R93 is on the list. The critics say that the gun fails spectacularly when fired factory ammunition. Moreover, the rifle is designed so that the bolt just flies straight backwards with an incredible amount of force at excessive pressures. It is a flawed design. However, the Blazer fan club said that this is a result of using poor quality hand loads that are beyond the maximum safe pressure of the rifle. To be fair, any rifle, no matter how well made, will fail if you push its limits. At the same time, it appears that the Blazer R93 is the only one who punches the shooter in the face with the bolt. One thing I should point out is that the Blazer introduced the R8, which is an upgrade to the R93. Among all the changes, the bolt design is one of them. The R8 is a very solid rifle that keeps all the things people love about the R93 and do away with the flaws that plagued it. The R8 is not a wild one like the R93, as I have not heard any people complaining about the bolt smacking them in the face anymore. So if you love Blazer rifles, go for the R8 instead. Marlin 1895, post 2007. The Marlin 1895 is a close relative to the Marlin 336, chambered in 4570 Government or 444 Marlin. The Marlin 1895 is used to take down tough game in North America. It is affectionately dubbed the guide gun, as it saved many people from dangerous critters such as bears or moose. Marlin continued to make great rifles for pretty much everything until 2007. On that fateful year, Remington Arms acquired the Marlin firearms and the quality control dipped significantly. It did not take long before people started to realize this. Complaints flooded in about unreliable feeding, problems with the wood on the stock, to name a few. Remington said that they fixed all of those problems and improved their quality control measures, but that's still debatable to this day. Remington continued to face problems such as the recall of the Remington Model 700 and their filing for bankruptcy. So if you want to buy a Marlin 1895, go for the one manufactured before 2007. It has a solid build quality and it hits like a truck. Winchester Model 70, pre-1964. Now, I do not mean all the Winchester Model 70s. When they were introduced in 1936, the rifle was an instant success. It soon earned its legendary reputation. Everybody loved it for its reliability and accuracy. It was so good that every rifle that came after it was used as a standard to compare to other newer rifles. However, Winchester made a bad move in 1964. It was a well-meaning move. They wanted to optimize the manufacturing process by making it cheaper and easier to make. Many changes were made, but the one that really killed it was the Model 70 no longer had that Mauser-style controlled round feed bolt after 1964. At the same time, there was a decline in craftsmanship quality. Both combined made the post-1964 rifles much worse than their earlier version. For this reason, many collectors and shooters put a high price on the pre-1964 Model 70. Some are willing to pay a fair bit just to get their hands on the rifle. The good news is that the FN Herstal started manufacturing the Model 70 in 2007. It is chambered in many popular centerfire rifle cartridges such as the 270 Winchester, 30-06 Springfield, 300 Winchester Magnum, 375 H&H Magnum, etc. The 2007 variant is just much better thanks to new firearm technologies. To top it all off, you get the controlled round feeding mechanism again. You get amazing barrels, impeccable bedding jobs, and crisp triggers. This variant lived up to the pre-1964's reputation as a reliable and accurate rifle. How does the pre-1964 variant compare to this? The difference is quite clear. Of course, I did not mean to spoil the good name of the pre-1964 Model 70s. They're still a great rifle. If you are a collector or who loves old rifles, then there's nothing wrong with grabbing the pre-1964 variant. However, the 2007 variant performs much better for a fraction of the cost. If you value performance over sentiment, the 2007 version is for you. Holland & Holland Double Rifle. Going double barrel has its advantages back in the day when muzzle loader was the only alternative. You can put down 2 quick shots before going through a reload that takes ages. During the late 1800s and early 1900s, hunters in India and Africa are going after dangerous game such as elephants, buffaloes, and tigers. The rifle of choice? Breech-loading double rifles chambered in big-bore cartridges such as the 377 black powder, 450 400, and Nitro Express rounds. They were especially lethal at close range, and the second shot saved many hunters' lives. Holland rifles are regarded as the best double rifles money can buy, even to this day. Simply put, people believe this is the Rolls-Royce among double rifles. They're fashionable and have a history of being used by the famous and the rich. Many members of the British royal family and even Theodore Roosevelt took double rifles on their safari. And just like the Rolls-Royce, Holland claims that all of their firearms are handmade. They employed many master gun makers, and every single piece took 850 hours of work to ensure that every gun is worth living up to their pristine reputation. However, there are just a few problems with Holland double rifles, which happens to apply to all other double rifles as well. Let's go through them one by one. The first problem is the magazine capacity. Of course, double rifles allow you to put down 2 shots really quickly. However, with enough training and good quality bolt action, you can accomplish the same thing. Moreover, many modern bolt actions can hold up to 5 big-bore cartridges, so if you need more than 2 shots, then the modern bolt action is much better. The second problem is that a double rifle is a niche tool. It works well in its intended application, but that's about it. No rifles in the world can stop dangerous game at close range compared to a big-bore double rifle. A solid one such as those from Holland & Holland handles as well as a good shotgun, so you can put a stop to a charging critter in a split second. While Holland & Holland double rifles are not inaccurate per se, you can find other rifles that perform much better at a longer range. Double rifles are also quite heavy, which helps soak up the recoil from the gigantic cartridge you would be firing. While it makes for a more comfortable experience, hauling around a 13-pound rifle will tire you out pretty quickly, especially if you have to trek 15 miles after an elephant. The third problem is the price tag. Just like a Rolls-Royce, Holland & Holland doubles are incredibly expensive. The price starts at $100,000. While many hunters and shooters are fine with paying a bit extra for a good rifle, $100,000 is too much to ask in my opinion. One alternative is the CZ550 Safari. It goes below $2,000 and is chambered in the 458 lot. Its effective range is 200 yards and holds 6 cartridges. Reliable, powerful, and lightweight. It beats Holland & Holland double rifles in all aspects except prestige. I cannot and will not stop you if you want to grab a double from Holland & Holland, but I implore you, ask yourself, is it worth it? For a lot of people, the answer is a solid no. When you buy that much for a rifle, it becomes more like a statement piece that you keep in your home rather than taking outside in the dirt and mud. You need to have really deep pockets to have the guts to take something that expensive out with you. Rifles chambered in 375, 378, 416, or 460 Weatherby Magnum. Weatherby Firearms, founded by legendary hunter Roy Weatherby, makes some seriously high-quality rifles. 2 of those are the Mark V and the Vanguard models. These rifles are chambered in many cartridges, some common, some rather obscure. Regardless of the chambering, these rifles are accurate, reliable, and sturdy. It makes sense why many big-game hunters love Weatherby rifles so much. Weatherby also made many high-velocity cartridges such as the 270 Weatherby Magnum and 300 Weatherby Magnum. However, I believe that big Weatherby Magnum cartridges are overrated. How? Well, here's the thing. When you have a high-velocity Magnum cartridge, you can take on elk, mule deer, mountain goat, bighorn sheep, etc. You want the high velocity so the trajectory is as flat as possible, and the bullet is resistant to wind drift. Moreover, those cartridges hit hard. However, while the cartridge hits your targets hard, they also hit you just as hard in the form of recoil and muzzle blast. Many hunters use small Weatherby cartridges and can still achieve comparable accuracy and can even squeeze out a bit more range compared to their larger counterparts. The recoil and muzzle blasts on these massive cartridges will wear you out pretty quickly. In the end, hunters who have to bear with these gargantuan cartridges end up missing their shot and just would injure the animal instead, rather than scoring that clean kill. You can probably fire the first couple of shots accurately, but good luck maintaining that accuracy throughout the day. But let's assume that there are people who can take the recoil and muzzle blast of these large cartridges. Would it make them better? Not necessarily. Many big game hunters prefer to get up close and shoot, meaning that the high velocity and flat trajectory matter very little. In fact, too much velocity would end up in a bullet failure, erratic terminal performance, and too much bloodshot meat. These large cartridges are for hunters who want to snipe their big game from a long distance. If you are into that, then use them when you go out. However, be careful not to injure yourself. I should also point out that there are other effective cartridges such as the 458 Lott, 416 Rigby, and 375 H&H that can handle big animals without sacrificing handling. And there you have it, folks. These are my top picks for overrated hunting guns. Of course, this is just my opinion, and you do not have to agree with everything I've just said. Maybe you think that one of these guns does not deserve to be on the list. Maybe you think that there's another one that should make the list. Let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give us a like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Also, make sure to hit that bell icon so you don't miss out when we release a new episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.